going to be really difficult to talk about Obi-Wan Episode 5 without spoilers. So I'll just say that if you haven't watched Episode 5 of Obi-Wan, you should do that before you do pretty much anything on the internet, because spoilers are everywhere. Twitter, YouTube, I mean, you name it, there are spoilers without even trying. I had things recommended to me on YouTube that were full spoiler, like a surprise in the show, just right there. So do your best to avoid those before you can watch it. If you're looking for my non-spoiler opinions on the show, I will just say this. I'm conflicted. There are parts of it that I really enjoyed, that I thought were really cool, and there were parts that made me confused and a little upset. So that's what I wanted to talk about in this video, is why I feel this way, but I can't do it without talking about spoilers. So yeah, like I said, there are things I like, there are things I don't like. I'm conflicted. I'm still Look, it's not going to affect Star Wars at all for me. I mean, I did survive Rise of Skywalker after all. So, yeah, yeah, we'll just see where it goes. But from here on out, it's spoiler time. Flashback. Hayden Christensen as Anakin before Attack of the Clones. Um and they have a little fight on like a little, I don't know what you call that, a veranda, I don't know, at Coruscant, the little training area with windows. It's cool. It was a cool little scene. There are still some problems with the CG. There are, like, I don't understand why Mandalorian could look so good in a lot of ways and really not give me that feeling that I was watching something less than what we'd seen in any other Star Wars property. This one feels very budget, and that's frustrating. I'll also say that while it is really great to see them as they were, I guess you could say, it's also very strange that they didn't do any attempts at de-aging Hayden. Ewan McGregor looks honestly very similar to the way he did in Attack of the Clones in his shots, but Hayden looks markedly older. I mean, he was what, 20 when he was filming Attack of the Clones? So yeah, he's much older now. It's 20 years later. So he looks different, and it's cool, but it's sort of jarring too. So yeah, overall, I mean, this is, you've seen the episode, right? Spoiler time. There's these flashbacks that kind of go throughout the episode and show different things. I kept waiting for a payoff, like something that we'd really like. Oh wow, that was really interesting that Anakin, or that Obi-Wan taught Anakin way back when. We never really got that. It was just cool scene after cool scene. I think the first real thing that made me, I mean, seriously, took me right out of the show and made me go, okay, like what? Bale's message to Obi-Wan. Um, it's so ridiculous that, number one, Bale Antilles, who has been at this point at least, talking about a rebellion, or talking about this sort of thing that's going on. There's a change. It's been 10 years since Order 66, right? So there's been a change in the thinking in the Senate. The fact that he would just send a message to Obi-Wan outlining all these things about, the boy and I can't even remember what the message was, but it was like, and oh, if I don't hear from you, I'll go to Tatooine. It's like, why are you doing this, Bale? You know what it reminded me of? It reminded me of, I know it's sort of a meme, the overly attached girlfriend. It's old, but it's the person that, they don't get a text from you and they're like, "Oh, well, you must hate me, or you must what?" And it's like "Hey, so what's going on?" And I'm like, "Hey, I'm really busy right now." "Oh, well, you must be, going with somebody else or something. And no, just I can't talk right now. And this is like, why would he send a message not knowing if Obi-Wan was in enemy hands with so much information? It doesn't make any sense. That's number one. Number two, later on, okay, you listen to this message. That's very, very interesting. I think I'll have to reply to that later. But you know what? I'm going to go ahead and delete this just to make sure, because it doesn't need to fall into enemy hands. You've seen the message. What, are you going to replay it multiple times? No, it doesn't make sense. Why would you save that message? So yeah, it automatically made me just, again, that's what I was thinking watching the episode there. Now we come to Reva's story being revealed, and or her backstory, I guess. I kind of liked it. It's like most of us. I think most people had guessed that she had to have been one of those younglings shown at the beginning of the series, and that's exactly what it is. She survived a a stabbing of lightsaber, and of course Anakin, he's wiping out all the Jedi, and he's like, oh, that's probably enough. Let's just move on, right? Okay, that's number one. A little strange. It's also a little strange that um like does he know, like toward the end, right? They've had their little battle. Does he know that she knows that Anakin and Darth Vader are the same person, right? Because I mean, I know that she knows that. Obi-Wan knows that she knows that, but does Vader know that? In but how? Like, how would she have known, that, okay, that's Anakin, that's the guy that, he's a Jedi around here. I've seen him around. And that is a crazy cyborg, like, murder guy. Like, what? In fact, that's how Darth Vader should be described from now on. Does she know that those are the two? I mean, it's interesting, right? Like, how would she know that Anakin is Vader, right? There's no explanation as to how she knows that. I still like it, okay. I just um I don't know. It feels like there's a lot of evil people that are threatening to turn good, and that's, I mean, I don't know. It's a thing. Tala and Ned B. It is Ned B, right? And that the droid's name, the carry things around droid, which again is his actual title. I'm not sure. I didn't feel a whole lot. I was just like, oh, okay, well, that happened. I don't know. Maybe it's because, again, when you're separated by a week, it tends to do that in a way where it's, I guess maybe some of the big revelations have been lessened a little bit. Still, I feel like I should have felt more. It felt a lot like Rogue One in the way that it kind of played out. But hey, that was a thing. So Obi-Wan, as he's preparing to turn himself over to Reva, he gives all of his stuff to Hala, and Hala, that is his name, right? Hala, I think it is. Anyway, he drops it, and of course that means that the overly attached senator, his message gets stolen later. Okay, when Obi-Wan gives himself up, um, I thought that was actually pretty cool. I was enjoying all of that until I don't understand the tactics of the Empire. Like, oh well, we've got an entire battalion here. This is a Jedi. But no, let's just take him over there and put him inside with just two stormtroopers. I'm sure that'll be fine. When Vader gets there, and of course he stops the ship, and he's all like, and he brings it down and all that stuff. It's kind of cool, but it's also strangely like there's, again, I can't put my finger on it exactly, but it feels budget. It doesn't feel like it has the physics that it should, and it just feels a little strange. It was definitely an interesting idea. Is a cool idea. I just don't know if it was executed exactly right. And then, of course, the whole, the ship drops and then the other one takes off, right? Like, what was going on? I did see a funny post on Reddit that said, "Oh, no, 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 his force pull was on cooldown. He couldn't." Okay, so that's a video game joke for those of you who aren't aware of what a cooldown is. In the lightsaber battle between Reva and Vader, which really was one-sided, Vader was just toying with her, and that was fun to see. In fact, the way that he was just stopping things, I really enjoyed that. But then there was still it felt like a blocking issue. It felt like to me, it felt like a direction issue. Like, it looked awkward. The scene didn't look 100% to me. So it's just one of those things where I'm just like, again, I get taken out of the emotion of the scene because there's a technical issue here. And maybe I'm the only one that's seeing that. I don't know, but that was unfortunate. And then, of course, the battle's over. Reva gets stabbed, apparently to survive again. But then the Grand Inquisitor shows up again and takes oh, hey, it was all a thing and it was a ruse. And, but why wouldn't Vader just dispose of her at that point? I don't understand the thinking. Again, I'm thinking like a tactician, right? And I would think that if the Empire can't, apparently can't survive on the stormtroopers taking good aim all the time, whether it's, that's probably just plot armor. But anyway, if you can't win that way, you got to win by using tactics, And I don't think that that's it wasn't a smart thing to keep her alive. I don't understand it. And then, of course, she finds the holo projector. She sees things. And I'm like, again, why? Why is that even a thing? It feels like a plot convenience, And it's like, well, we've got to get her still to be part of next week's episode. So how would we do that? Well, okay, so there's a message from Bail Organa that she finds that was to Obi-Wan. Oh, that's a great idea. Okay, great. But not thinking it through, that it doesn't make sense for Bail Organa to send that kind of message to someone who might be in captivity. So that's my problem, is that there are conveniences, there are things that take me out of the story. I mean, look, I want, you have to understand, I want to love this show. I really, really do. I love Ewan McGregor. I love you, Hayden Christensen. I wanted to see more about these characters, and I've seen a little. And it pains me to think that this might be the only time that we get to see them again. And I feel like the effort was a bit wasted on a story that seems like a side story. Like, they seem like side characters. And that's unfortunate. But look, it's just my opinion. I know I've probably been rattling on for way too long. But let me know what you think about Obi-Wan down below. Look, I really want to like it. I really do. And I'm trying to. But there are things that continually take me out of it. And I can't lie. I can't tell you that, oh, no, it was the best thing I've seen since. I can't do that. I have to tell you the truth. And that's honestly what I was feeling. So let me know down below what you think of it. Let's talk about it. Let's discuss it. Look, we've only got one more week of this. So I guess let's enjoy it while it lasts. Anyway, thank you guys for watching, and we will see you on the next one.